Every school system has different needs when it comes to program management, construction management, depending on the scope and the sequence. The scope of the work that we had to do, the time frames, we could not have managed it without some program management.
You know, I think one of the biggest fears that a superintendent would have in a project such as this is being behind schedule and not being able to be efficient and effective in making a transition.
We are able to add so much value to an owner for a construction project. They're able to just turn everything over to us, know that they're getting full attention to a project and that they're going to receive a project at the end of the day that is a very high quality building and that was completed on time and in budget.
There's always surprises, and architects who are usually in early will make assumptions that because they worked for school system A and they had people that were conversant in all the terms and technology and understood what they wanted to accomplish, when they go to work for school system B, they assume that that same level of understanding is there, and it's not usually. It varies widely.
It's beneficial to an owner because they typically aren't in that position, don't know as much, and we can look for things within a project that they might not see. We can tell when a general contractor is not doing what they're supposed to do, when they're getting off task, when they're getting off schedule, when they might be delayed or something that happens within their schedule affects the end date of the project. We also can tell when things go wrong on the project, how they'll affect the owner's checkbook and money and how it will affect their budget overall. Just having that expertise and knowledge allows us to really run the project from a broad standpoint and an oversight, kind of viewing the project from the top and above of how all these pieces and parts work together to come together in the end and benefit the owner ultimately.
I've been involved in facility construction, 3 different school systems. You know, we only have so much bonding capacity and so much debt that we can take on, and as usual, all schools have greater wants than they can probably afford. And so with HOAR being able to help us analyze budgets and do some cost analysis, it's really helped us to get everybody to focus in on prioritizing. But just the massive amount of change and things that we had going on, I simply can't have my hands on everything. I very rarely handle the problems. It's usually me with an email saying, "You going to take care of this?" or "You going to get me this?" Even information I need to communicate to my board or city officials, you know, sometimes it's an email, you know, I'll be told, well, they need this, they need that, and it's as simple as me saying, "Okay, so are you going to get me that?" "Yes, we'll have that to you."
The service that HPM has provided to us has been invaluable. They have held our hand and led us through this process pretty much on a daily basis. We stay in constant contact with our manager, our site manager, and it's extremely comforting. We know, I feel like I am in the loop every day of what is going on in the day-to-day process and the day-to-day construction of this building.
Well, the beauty about what we do is it's a process. Once you refine and hone a process like we have done from concept all the way through to occupancy of a facility, it's knowing what the steps are, focusing with diligence at every waypoint along the way, knowing where the risks are. And there can be unique risks, but there are common risks, and the bulk of the risks are common, and that's what we've defined our process to manage.
When you're about to spend millions of dollars on a new school system, we bring the design and construction expertise to the table to guide the client through the multitude of decisions that are going to need to be made to spend their money wisely and to get the most for their dollar.
If you think about a school district is in the business of educating kids, and so they don't have the resources to carry a large staff to manage construction projects. And construction projects have to be managed. They don't build themselves. The architect designs it, the contractors build it, but the owner has it's a 3-legged stool, and the owner is usually the least experienced person in that area when it comes time to build a building or a program of buildings. And that's where we step in and come alongside of them.